Hey guys, this is Carson Howe with the Pirate Podcast. Today's podcast is featuring Coach Anderson, the head coach of the boys swim team. We're going to be talking about how the season is going so far, such as swim meets, practice intensity, and teammate connectivity. First off, how's your day going, Mr. Anderson?
My day is going just fine.
How have your classes been today?
They've been just fine. It's a Friday. We're ready to roll on the weekend.
Okay, great. First, into the first question I have to ask you today. What's your main focus about the swim season this year?
Our number one goal for our team, as we talk about all the time, be better today than you were yesterday. We want to get better each practice, each meet, till we're at our peak performance by the end of the year. Kind of our focus this year, we have 9 seniors, and so it's kind of like these 9 seniors have worked their way up to this crescendo, this peak, their senior year, and there's some underclassmen to kind of help them out, and we're kind of hoping to be as good as we can, and whatever that gives us, whether that gives us a conference, whether that gets us to state, and we were able to do some things in state. We don't know what that entails, but we're hoping to be the best we can possibly be by the end of the season.
And conference-wise, like you said, 9 seniors, is that the most you've had in the past few years?
I think one year I had 8, but yeah, 9 is definitely the most I've ever had.
So with such a big group, do you think you're projected to win the conference this year?
Well, I don't necessarily do projections, and I don't think there's too many people out there trying to, there's not other podcasts out there analyzing the Suburban Conference, but I think we're in a new conference, and obviously Raytown is probably and us are going to be fighting it out to see who gets first and who gets second. So comparing our teams from this year and last year, to be honest, they might have been a little bit better, and I'm not sure who all they've lost or who all they've gained this season. We're going to get to see them tomorrow or this Saturday, and kind of get some understanding about what that's going to look like. But I think we're the two that are definitely going to be fighting it out for conference.
Yeah, so I've been watching the meets, and I've seen that you do have some talented swimmers, and last year you guys had broken the 400-meter free record. Do you guys think you have any chance of breaking any other records, whether it's a solo or a relay record?
I think we have a real good shot at that 400 free relay record, again, because this is pretty much the same guys, and if it's different guys, it's because somebody's overtaken one of the guys that's on that record board. So I think we've got a really good shot at that one. There's some individual records that could fall because one of the guys on the team actually has 3 of them, and so he's fighting it out to break his own record. I think the one on the board that's been there the longest is the 50 freestyle, and we're kind of hoping to take that one down here sometime.
Yeah, that would be awesome. So do you guys have any challenges so far this year? I know you guys have only had 2 meets so far this year, and you have another one coming up tomorrow on Saturday at Belton. Was there any challenges that have affected the meets or the practices or anything that could have gotten in the way of the team's progression?
Not necessarily. I think that the biggest challenges lay ahead. Swimming is a sport that can get pretty mundane, and it's a lot of work. It's hard work. And, I think the guys are going to have challenges ahead because it's a long season. And we get into, like, October, and it's just, like, a lot of repetition, and I think that's going to be the biggest challenge for the guys to kind of overcome and maintain that hard work, maintain getting better every single day.
So would you say that the practices, like the intensity of each practice, do you think it's been harder, easier, around the same for the last 3 to 5 years? Do you think it's been around the same intensity, or do you think it's gotten harder or maybe easier?
We have been putting together practice schedules that have been more difficult, a lot of work, and the guys have stepped up. So I think they're more exhausted, more tired. We're kind of trying to break them down, and then we're going to build them back up here for the final run to the end of the season. And I think the guys have done you can put whatever you want out there. You can put a practice schedule and anybody can go do the practice schedule at whatever speed they want to do. And if the guys don't individually say, I'm going to work hard at this, then it doesn't do any good. And the guys have been working hard. The guys have been pushing themselves. They've been pushing each other. And so the intensity of practice has been probably better than it's been all my whole career.
So there's obviously some swimmers that are better than others and some that are newer to swim than others. Do you think that you are trying to help only the really good swimmers, or do you think you're trying to keep the less fortunate swimmers to become better and make them a part of maybe varsity or the bigger team?
Our numbers shrunk down this year, and we're kind of juggling between maintaining the guys who have been around for 4 years and 3 years and been on varsity and keeping them up, and at the same time building our future up for when these 9 seniors leave and maintaining who we are going to be. And we try to match that intensity. Everybody on our team is important, and whether their importance in the pool comes 2 years down the road or it comes in the next meet, everybody on our team is important. So we are focused on each person, and some people need more time, they need more attention. Some people, I can leave them alone, and they're going to take care of it. And so that's just kind of the makeup of our team.
So what would be your biggest accomplishment or goal for the team at the end of the year? Something that would happen and you just feel like you've succeeded as a coach and you'd feel like the team has really pulled through and done what they have been more than expected to do?
I don't necessarily know if it would be me succeeding as a coach, but the most pride that I would feel is winning conference. And in the past, and the reason why I say winning conference is because I want that joy for those athletes. We've had years where, and we've even had years where I think we may have even been better, and didn't win conference. And those groups of guys didn't get to feel that joy of a team, winning something as a team and kind of looking at each other and knowing that they needed each guy on the team to be successful. It's always been something that's pretty big. We've only won 2 since I've been coaching. We've lost just barely 2-3 years, and so that's kind of a big deal. State's great, but the accolades, it's kind of for those guys that end up going to state, and it's not as much of a team success. Although having relays, and if they were to score points and get in the top 16 or even top 8, that's real big for those particular swimmers that swim in those relays. But conference is a big team deal.
So you said that we won conference twice.
Yeah.
And when was the last time that happened?
2014.
2014, quite a while ago. Mm-hmm. And I have another question for you about the team members. So say here's a scenario that one person on the team messes up, does something wrong, misses a meet, misses an event that costs the team something. It affects the entire team instead of just the one player. How do you deal with that as a coach when other players and other swimmers could obviously be upset at this one player?
Well, we talk about picking each other up. I mean, and everybody, we just talked in practice the other day. Everybody on the team's going to make a mistake. Everybody's going. I mean, somebody might not show up to a meet. Somebody may false start in a meet. Somebody might not show up for an event. Don't get me wrong. I let them know. Hey, this was and the impact of it. But then it's our job to build that person back up because we're going to need them in the future. I think sports is big about making mistakes. We're supposed to make mistakes, and this is where we kind of learn in life, because in life we screw things up. And we screw things up bad. How do we react to it? And screaming and yelling at somebody, putting a whole bunch of punishment on people and unnecessary punishment. Our job is to correct that mistake for the future, and in doing that, sometimes it affects other people. And sports, you learn to have to live with what other people do, and you do that in a family. You got somebody in the family that messes up, you're still a family, and you got to build that person back up and keep them going.
All right. Well, it's been nice talking to you. Glad to hear a little bit about the team. Glad to hear what you have to say. And that's all we have for today's podcast.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.